To do this, man. We've been talking about the matchup. We've been talking about all the different scenarios, the storylines, and here's just a couple of the big ones, right? Patrick Mahomes, I guess in some way trying to chase down Tom Brady as the greatest of all time. I still feel like he still has a lot of work to do. Tom Brady is still the greatest, at least in my mind. Joe Montana was the greatest, but then Tom Brady, obviously supplanted him. But there's that. Is Kansas City the New England dynasty, right? The new dynasty in the NFL. And, on the 49ers side, the Cinderella story of Brock Purdy, man, like being Mr. Irrelevant, being the third string QB. They put him in just because he was the last guy, like Trey Lance, Jimmy G. They had to go to Brock Purdy, and now he's got him, he went to the NFC Championship game last year. Now he's back in the Super Bowl. So all those storylines are all folded into this great Super Bowl matchup that we got coming up on Sunday in Las Vegas.
Yes, it is coming up, and cross our fingers. Both teams I know I keep bringing this up because Super Bowl week is always a rest week.
Yeah.
We got to make sure that both teams behave themselves, and it does appear that we got some quality individuals on both teams because they only got to make it a couple more days. They are in Las Vegas. I know you can get in trouble anywhere, but it's a little bit easier in Vegas. They just got to make it a couple more days and get to the game. There's a lot of hoopla going on in Vegas, and I think it would be easy to get caught up. But it sounds like both teams are doing pretty well. So I'm crossing my fingers and hoping nobody gets in trouble because I don't like anything taken away from the game, man. I don't want to find out that a center is over in Tijuana like that one year with the Raiders and the Bucks. Let's have them at full strength to go at it for a great game.
You know what? Yeah, it has been a quiet week. Other than that guy that was climbing the sphere yesterday, that has happened to be in Las Vegas. But the big controversy as a 49er fan was the stiffness, the hardness of the turf that the 49ers were using at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Like the 49ers were upset because I don't know, there's tests you can do to see how hard the surface is. And it was, I think it was much softer. They should have been more firm than what they normally would play on. So they were upset about that.
They have a right to be upset about that, if you ask me, because that is supposed to be all figured out. And I even heard a story that they put sod over the top of sport turf just the week before. Not cool, dude. Let's have all that is supposed to be figured out. And of course, the Chiefs had zero problems. So, not to give them any excuses, but they shouldn't be dealing with anything like that, man.
This is the Super Bowl, right? Like, this is the biggest sporting event, well, I say in the world, but maybe there's a soccer match out there that might be bigger. But here in the United States, this is as big as it gets. You can't cut corners on the Super Bowl, especially if one team, the Chiefs, I think they're using the Raiders facility, so everything's great. And then the 49ers are at UNLV, which I'm sure UNLV's fine too. But if the practice facility, if the surface is not up to snuff, like I just feel like it's, pardon the pun, it's not equal footing going into the big game on Sunday. So I don't know. As a 49er fan, that kind of irked me. But with all that said, at this point of the year, you are who you are. Like, I don't think a week of practice is really going to change that. I was just concerned that, what if somebody rolls an ankle? What if somebody tweaks their knee or something like that going into Super Sunday?
Yeah, it's like we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if you heard, the Madden simulation was done.
Oh.
It says Chiefs win 40-37. That's just according to Madden, and who knows? And then conspiracy theorists, also according to the script, have the Chiefs winning. So those are both out there, of course.
I always go, for whatever reason, in a championship game, Super Bowl, World Series, whatever the case may be, I always go a little under because I feel like that's where defense and pitching and all those things kind of shine. So I want to go into the 30s. I just can't. If I had to give a Super Bowl prediction here, I would say maybe, 27, 24, somewhere in there. Like, that's a safe pick. I always feel like I'm right around that ballpark anyways.
Right. I think that is a good prediction right there with the 49ers pulling off the victory.
Well, of course. Yeah, of course, Patrick. Yeah, of course the Niners. So, yeah, I think it'll be maybe in the high 20s. Each team's going to get their points, but I feel like the defense will, like any big game, I'm not reinventing the wheel. Whatever defense is going to make some stops or cause a turnover is going to win the game, not Captain Obvious over here, but I think it's going to be in the high 20s.
Yeah, but it'll be exciting to meet up on Monday.
Yes.
Hangover Monday, I like to call it, which should be a national holiday. but it'll be fun to see what actually happens.
Yeah, looking forward to the Super Bowl. The other kind of interesting football news, Patrick, that came out this week is that the NFL announced that they're going to play their first ever regular season game in the country of Brazil. The Philadelphia Eagles will play in Sao Paulo on September 6th, which is actually week 1. That's like the first game right out of the gate for the NFL season. So the Eagles, with a to be determined opponent, will play in Brazil as the NFL continues to be global and go all around the world.
Wow, Brazil, man, unbelievable. But you're right, they're going global on us. It's like the 80s NBA or something.
Yeah, right. We've already conquered Europe. We were already going over there in England and Germany, and and now we're Mexico. We've been down there a bunch of times for NFL regular season games, but now the Eagles will play in Brazil as we go down to South America now for the NFL. All right, Patrick, today's the day, man. Today is the NBA trade deadline. It is at noon here in the IE on the West Coast, and if you're the Lakers, I mean, they've been underwhelming. They got a lot of star power. They can score the basketball, but they've just been underwhelming. So I think the Lakers, as we talk here on this Thursday morning, I think leading up to that trade deadline, they might do something. I don't know if it's going to be a big splash. You might remember a year ago they added a bunch of pieces. I say pieces, like not household name guys, but just good role players. And I feel like they might do something like that leading up to the deadline. D'Angelo Russell's name has been out there quite a bit. Maybe he'd be a bargaining piece to make a trade for the Lakers. So we'll see. But if you just stand pat, I don't know if the Lakers have what it takes to get back to a conference finals.
Yeah, I think you're right. I bet they don't do anything because there really isn't any moves that could be made out there that are going to make any waves. The only one that would is if LeBron got traded.
Yeah, right? I mean, that's not going to happen, obviously.
Yeah,
they're not getting rid of LeBron. Yeah. Anthony Davis is not going anywhere. And the available guys, guys you're hearing rumors of that might be on the move, guys like Kyle Kuzma. I mean, we already tried Kuz, right? So I don't know. I don't know if there's a big splash out there that the Lakers could potentially make. So they might add some guys you've never heard of, but trying to do something, but I don't think it's going to be a big splash.
No, just get to the dance and try to do what you can.
Mm-hmm. You're exactly right. And on the flip side for the Clippers, Patrick, on Monday we talked about, in the Western Conference standings, you had Oklahoma City and the Minnesota Timberwolves near the top. But as of this Thursday morning, the Clippers they have taken that top spot. They are the number 1 team in the West. Yeah, I know they lost to the Pelicans last night, but right now they are the best team in the Western Conference. And I don't think, you got James Harden in there, so I don't think you do anything else. I don't think you try to make any other moves if you're the Clippers. I think you've got a good thing going and just try to get better as the season progresses.
No, it seems like they're stacked pretty well, and I'm trying to wrap my head around the Clippers making a huge run. Could you imagine? I'm just even just imagining it, just to put it out in the atmosphere. Could you imagine the Clippers winning the championship? I mean, it would be mind-blowing to Southern California and the United States of America.
Oh, if they won the title, go into the new arena, I mean, it would be crazy. I know we still got a lot of basketball to go, but right now in the West, there's not a dominant team. I know Denver's going to be in the mix when it's all said and done. They're the reigning champions. They'll figure it out. But, yeah, the Clippers look as good as anybody else.
It would be wild.
Yeah, super crazy. All right, and finally here on this Thursday, later today in Los Angeles at the Crypt, as the kids call it, Crypto.com Arena, the Lakers will unveil the statue of Kobe on today, appropriately, which is 2/8/24, February 8th. He wore 2 numbers, 8 and 24, so today's the day, and they will unveil the statue down there in L.A., Patrick.
A lot of the talk, of course, is what will be the pose of the statue? I mean, will it be him showing his heart and ripping the jersey to the side, or the reverse dunk? It will be kind of exciting. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on the Lakers and the statue maker to make it look really cool. I mean, not that this has anything to do with it, but remember when Ronaldo came out with that one statue and it looked ridiculous? Not that would ever happen, but Kobe needs to be respected. There's a lot of Kobe fans out there. A lot of pressure on this unveiling. I think it actually will be something really cool.
Yeah, you know what? You got to get it right. You only get one chance, right? And you how do you embody just one, I don't know, iconic moment or something that resembles Kobe the most? Like that's really hard for any athlete, I guess, but especially Kobe. I don't know if it's, as a Kings fan, man, he tore us apart so many times, but his iconic like fadeaway, like a turnaround jumper. I don't know what it's gonna be, but if that was it, I'd be like, yeah, that's totally Kobe right there. Because when I think of him and his great playing days, like that's what I think of. So, but yeah, you're right. There's a lot of pressure. I didn't know the pose was such a big thing, because I mean that's the statue's gonna be like that for forever. So you got to get it right.
I actually think it could be the pose where he's pulling his jersey aside, because he was all heart and he was a Laker through and through from beginning to end. I think that actually would be a really good tribute. Also, kind of showing the fire. I do agree with you with the fadeaway, but that was kind of copied from Jordan.
Yes.
So I kind of feel like that would kind of embody Kobe, because you're right. Very tough. A lot of pressure here.
Could they do two statues next to each other, one in a number 8, one in a number 24 jersey? Like, I don't know. Maybe they could think outside the box and do something completely different.
Yeah, man.
So
maybe like a little action shot or something like that.
Yes. Yeah, so we're going to find out today.
Yeah.
They're going to do it today. So
we will have so much to talk about on Monday, Super Bowl, and Kobe statue talk on Monday for sure with our guy, Pep. Tell him how to get your stuff.
Oh, Patrick, I hope I'm in a good mood on Monday. Go Niners. Get my stuff at Inland Sports, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We got the Inland Sports YouTube channel. Bang, bang, Niner gang. I'm out.
Thanks, Pep.